Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Want to make oh, oh, wonderful podcast is going on. Oh, okay. Ooh, I had to mute that quick. Danivore and Jonathan are on the same time as me. Let's address let's address the chat. This is what you guys get. I just got out of the sun. Turn down these volumes. You'd think this was my first rodeo. Seriously. Come on, Jerry. Maybe I was out in the sun too long. I look a little bit pink. I don't burn. The carnivore diet does not burn me. Wendy asked here first. Wendy, did you fall asleep in the sun? No, Wendy. I thought I had put down 12 noon Central Standard Time, meaning Rick gets off at noon, 1 o'clock his time, East Coast. That is 12 noon my time. So Rick is an hour ahead of me insofar as the clock is concerned. So no falling asleep. As a matter of fact, I slept in today close to, it was 9:22 when I woke up, close to 9:30. Body was pooped. I guess these 12-hour days are catching up with me for sleep. I'll talk about that later. Let's keep addressing more of the chatties. Oh, well, should be here soon. Nope, 12 noon Central Standard Time. Same with tomorrow. It'll be 12 noon. So if you're on the East Coast, I think Wendy's the same as I am for some reason. I believe Wendy to be Central Time. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy. Right now it is 1:03 Eastern Time. And this is just going to be chitty and chatty. And I believe George said him and Lady are going to pop on. And in the UK, it's 6 p.m. on Saturday night. Ha! How's that for time? Ask me if I'll remember that later, and I probably won't. So I do have a wee bit of competition right now. I don't consider it competition, if you will, because Jonathan and Danivore are different than myself. They're going to be talking about the muscles, and obviously, Jonathan is the superstar when it comes to muscles. I adore the two of them, and I know I'll be watching it on the replay. I left a chat comment down below. Kathy, hi, welcome, Kathy. So welcome to Wendy and Kathy thus far. I'm here early, nowhere to go, but 10 minutes until the live starts. I'm going to channel hop. See ya in 10. What time was that? Let's see what time that was. That was at 11:51. Okay, excellent. Well, welcome, Kathy. I'm sure you're here now. And here's the birthday girl. Yesterday was Donna Ray's birthday. So exciting. Donna Ray. Hi, Jerry and everyone. Hey, Donna. Welcome to the show. I'm going to be putting the link up. 2-minute warning. Actually, it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I was late. You see my headgear? This is what I sleep with. On the top, it has all the buttons. Turn it on, press the button, volume, or move to the next channel. And this is what I was listening to Rick's show with while suntanning. Pushed it up, got it out of my face. The hair, this is what you get. There's no rollers. There's no cutesiness. I was lucky if I put mascara on today. If you know, you know. You ain't getting any lips. Sorry. Good afternoon, Mason. And Mason says, good afternoon to everybody in the chat. Hello to George. I'm here. Good evening, George. Good evening to you. Anna is here. Hello, all. Anna says, Donna, we all enjoyed your birthday live. We truly did. Again, with the time for me, you guys, on her thumbnail, it said 7 p.m. Now, normally YouTube will give us the correct time for us in our time zone. I took the thumbnail as the literal time. I can't do that anymore. I have to understand, and usually I'm working on Fridays. I have off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 4 days. Glorious bliss. This yesterday and today have forecasted for 82-ish degree weather. Perfect breeze. But it is hot. I sleep. I lay out on beach towels just because absorption, and it's wrought iron furniture that I lay out on. I don't lay on anything soft and no, I don't do that because it gets too hot for me out in the hot sun. So I get rid of the cushions and I just lay on the wrought iron with the towels. Is it hot? Not really. It isn't. But it's better than having that cushion all around me. If I was going to sit in the evening around a bonfire, yeah, I'd use cushions, but not in 82-degree heat for me. Okay, I came back, was watching the Jen Man clip of the house next to the movie theater. I guess that's for sale. And I don't know the story of it. I'm sure you're going to catch us up on that. Are they going to buy it? I think they wanted to enter a bid in for it. Wouldn't that be wonderful if they turned that into a carnivore hotel? It's a lot better than going across the street to the Quick Trip and going through all the donuts. Quick Trip is my favorite gas station, but they have tons and tons of duck food, junk food, carby food that you have to walk through to get to the register. It doesn't bother me, but they do sell just hot dogs, just burgers. I don't advocate in eating the burgers at Quick Trip because I think they have fillers. It tastes somewhat meatloafy, but they're all beef hot dogs. Fantastic. Hello, beautiful Lainey. Thank you so much. You are a doll. She calls me beautiful. See all this fuzz, right? George, hello, sweetie, says Mason. Everybody saying hello to everybody. And Wendy. And who is this? Okay, let me try to read this. I have to break it down. IHY. Okay, IH. Joy. Semahumat. 4040. I think I'm going to call you Joy. Joy 4040. I got the joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Good day to you. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you being here. I think this is your first live. Thank you for coming. Wendy, hello, friend. Yellow Rose is here. Yellow Rose says, George, is this the one right that you mentioned that you were going to be on? Yes, Yellow Rose. This is your first live here too. Yay, Joy and Yellow Rose. Welcome. Thanks for hopping on this Saturday. This is just chitty and chatty time. Kathy, glad you're here. There's Michael. Michael's Adventures. Hi. Yellow Rose says, hi, everyone. And everybody continue to say hello to everyone. Hello, Amy. Welcome to you. Hi, beautiful Amy. Oh my God, I love my headband foams. Me too. These are fabulous for listening out in the sun. Trying to read the chat, impossible in the sun. I know that I can mess with the color and make it brighter. I get it. But then I'm going to have a shade spot because I'll be doing this in the sun. But I do love the headband, Amy. I love it. Oh, here's Lainey. She says she's buzzing. Been to the butchers and the clothes shopping. Wow. My favorite hobbies. I managed to lose George to go into the clothes shop on my own. It's okay. I lose Jack all the time. Or he'll sit in the car, in the truck, and then wait for me and then say, where were you? You could have came in and used the Wi-Fi of the mall, but no, you wanted to stay outside on your device. Men. Sorry, George. Sorry, George. Hi, me and Lainey are here. Excellent. We heart Jerry, and I heart you. Love you, George, and Lainey too. She's my classmate. I met so many friends on the Kilts Health Course class of 2025. Yes, fabulous. More hellos to the chat channel, folks. Okay, thanks, Alicia. It was fun. I joined it too. Ever said that I have guns? Oh, guns. Oh, yeah, those guns. I don't. I have flab. Here we go. Hang on. Let me get rid of the chat. I have no shame. For you guys that don't know, I am a clothing optional tanner. And Jack and I go to a resort in Florida that's clothing optional. Hold the phone. I am zero clothes in my house. In the middle of a forest, 5 acres, it's nothing. There is nothing. The only white that I have is right here on this side of my chest because gravity, flipping and flopping. If you know, you know. Now, I'm very careful where we go to the resort. We go to a resort in Orlando, clothing optional, meaning clothing is optional. You cannot go into the pool with clothing, however, though. I don't have a problem with seeing the human body. I know Wendy had left me a comment that we came onto this earth without clothes. I am a Christian. I don't believe in shenanigans being clothing optional. The place that we go to, if you so much as touch in an inappropriate manner your spouse, in my case, if Jack would touch me, no, it's not going to be tolerated. There's no shenanigans there. There's no debauchery going on. There are places like that for people that do that sort of thing. Jack and myself do not do that sort of thing. There's a place in Miami, and it's, what is it called? I forget the name. It may come to me, where all things go. Whatever happens in that resort in Miami. It's very exclusive. It's very pricey. It's very, how shall I put this? All systems go. And it's nothing that we are interested in. Now, the place that we go to, it's mainly people that look like me. There's older, there's younger people as well. There's people that do not have arms, do not have legs, that have more roles than I do. They are standard American diet people, typically. They have a restaurant there where the wait staff and the cooks it's a health requirement, must have clothing. You can't have cooks and wait staff serving you naked. Not appropriate. Let me move back to the chat. And more hellos. I'm going to just hit the hellos real quick. Hey, Roxanne, friend. Hi. I didn't put mascara on today. I just did before the live, just to show that I have eyes. That's all. And I don't have extensions. I don't have fake lashes. Some people do, and that's okay for them. My logic is, if you're going to glue the lashes onto your real lashes, you got to take them off. You run the risk of losing your lashes, right? You do. You'll be ripping off your lashes, and I don't do that. And Yellow Rose asks, Lainey, did you manage to buy any? Hi, Amy, another classmate going to Michigan. Hello, Yellow Rose. I'm trying to go through the chat as quickly as possible to have people, Mason is saying to Joy, welcome, to have people come on if they want to come on. My clothing optional place is in Kissimmee, Florida. Hi, Joy, George, and Lainey. Yellow Rose is our next country neighbor here in the UK. Excellent, from Plymouth, home to my mom and the Mayflower launch site back in 1820. Leave it to George. George is our resident encyclopedia. Rick has the encyclopedia behind him. We have George amongst us, the human encyclopedia. Lainey says, I had my eyelashes lifted and curled the other day. It's so lovely to have them back after losing them. I can now flutter my eyelashes. Fabulous. I know of the curlers. I know people have them, they crimp and then they do, it's like a curling iron for your eyelashes. I know that they exist, and I know people have some straight lashes. Thanks for sharing about Yellow Rose. Absolutely. Mason's giggling. She must be giggling about my clothing optional place. And here is John Together Strong. Hello, 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 John. Hi, welcome. Long-standing friend, says Mason. Everybody say hello to everybody. I'm just hitting all the chat, not wanting to be rude. Good, Jerry. I know. Glad you told everyone. Fine, John. Thank you. Getting ready to do my weekend errands. Roxanne's giggling. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate you. I'm going through the chat quickly. Roxanne says, I want to go to Kalamazoo. Where do I sign up? Well, there's moderators here in the chat. George and Amy are moderators, and I'm sure they will be happy to hit you up. It is Robin's Meetup in Michigan, and there is a site to go. Amy was very kind, very kind. Amy is super wonderful technology queen, bar none, in my opinion. So when she asks me, Amy will think twice before she asks me anything. Trust me. She'll ask me, hey, Jerry, do you want to go to the Chicago meetup? Sure, Amy, let's go. That means, Amy, I will go with you. You order me a ticket, pay for it, and I will pay you back. So I'm already paid up with Amy for Kalamazoo. No, not Kalamazoo. Did I? No, I still owe Amy for Kalamazoo, and I obviously will pay her. But when we go to Kentucky, her and I are all paid up. She ordered that for me months ago when that was announced. Now we're going to be bunking together in a room, and then we'll just split that depending on how many of us go. So if the two of us go and the bill is, let's say, $500, the two of us will pay $250 a piece. So it's fair. If three of us go, we'll divide it three ways, four of us go, etc., and so on and so forth. And here comes George with more facts. When I weighed 293 pounds, blows me away. When I see that picture, does not even look like George, in my opinion. I was ashamed of my body, 120 pounds down, and no such problem now. It's just too cold over here to make clothing optional. Listen, George, I would not, just my opinion, not wanting to be a prude. I am a clothing optional person, except if people come to my home. I have clothes. I would not be seen out in a normal beach with a bikini. It ain't happening. One-piece suit, maybe. I have a Spanx suit. It sucks it all in. If you know, you know. Well, it sucks most of it in. At least the stuff that nobody wants to see in public. It sucks it all in. And I just won't be seeing clothing optional in a public scene unless it's my house, myself, Jack, and I. If I have a delivery coming to my house, I am running for the robe, throw it over my head, the towel, whatever, wrap it around me. Nobody's seeing this stuff. Nobody. Amy says, I love fake eyelashes, but I don't wear them often. Too much work. Good for you, Lainey. Small things are really huge sometimes. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you lose your hair to cancer, getting the hair back? Absolutely. Roxanne, myself, and George are going to Kalamazoo. It will be wonderful to meet you. Yes, I have never used false eyelashes. I must be false lash lazy. Say that fast 3 times. Mason, they certainly are. Heart. Found it. Thank you. Spanx. Spanx is life. Okay, Kathy, be here. I like fake eyelashes, but if I wore them, I'd be the person with the lash down my face. LOL. Hi, Amy, says Kathy. Okay, now let me get the link. Let me get the link in here. Oh, Malanta. Why do I forget these things when I go live? It's as though the brain falls out of my head. I don't want to share my referral link. Slides and PD share screen. No. Brain burp. Let me go here. Did I screw that up? Oh, no. Oh, why can't I find it? Uh-oh. There's a fly in here. What in the world? I think I brought it in when I came in from tanning. Oh, no. Why can't I find this? Banners. I can't hit share my referral link because that's a referral. Oh, sugar. Invite guests. Oh, there we go. Brain burp. It's the sun. I was affected by the sun. Copy. I can have up to 10 people at once. And this fly, too. Oh, okay, here goes. Brain burp. Here is the link. John's leaving. John, bye, John. Thank you for coming. I quite often see George's naked bottom walking down the landing to the bathroom, as you should. That's your hubby. Hi, Wendy. Welcome. Wendy's hopping between Jonathan and Dan's podcast and my past podcast. Welcome. And this fly is driving me insane. Mason's giggling at me. Bye, John. Take care, everybody, John says. The wife is nudging me to get into the shower. There's the link. Oh, fly. I hope I don't have one of those episodes. What was it, George Bush, where the fly landed on him? That's scary. I think that means something if you're into meanings. So I'm going to post the chat again. Patricia says, bye, John. Mason says, bye, John. Bye, John. Lainey, we're giggling. And there's the link. So if you would like to hop on, those of you that want to hop on, Lainey and George, I appreciate you. Yellow Rose said to John, bye, have a blessed weekend. Lainey says, bye, John. Think your wife may be telling you you're smelly. Smelly cat. There are 14 people on the chat right now. No particular topics. I thought people were going to ask about the clothing optional, so I addressed it right away. I'm not wanting to talk about it, but it's really nothing to talk about. It's something that I enjoy doing. I love the vitamin D. I love summer. And it's been quite the lengthy, let me get the camera situated here. It's been quite the lengthy and cold, very cold winter. Still have coffee left over from this morning. It still is piping hot. And Wendy says, Jerry, get a zap racket. they'll start leaving you alone. Wendy, I have a Zap racket. It's outside. And I hear what you're saying because they're wonderful. Bzz, they're great. They're outside. How would I have thought to bring a Zap racket in my basement, right? I should have. Keep one in the basement and one outside with me at all times. And Lainey saying George is on his way. Later, John. It's freedom from clothes on vacation. Absolutely. That's why when you mentioned, Mason, about going to Vegas, Vegas is nice. And I don't mind being in the sun. I don't mind doing the casinos and all that, the desert. It's a lovely thing. Right now, that stupid car of mine, let me tell you, the dealer came up with this bid, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm a woman. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I don't know when it comes to mechanical things. Came up with this itemized bill of 5,100 some dollars, not including tax, for things that need tending to on my Denali. My Denali's not brand new. I don't plan on getting a brand new vehicle. When you buy a brand new vehicle, immediately driving off the lot, you lose a lot of the value. So it is what it is. Right now, I need the vehicle to get from this point in northwestern Wisconsin to all the meetups. So vacation time, sorry to say, is not going to be an issue for me. I wish there were more meetups around here. And I know people would say to me, but Jerry, you can have your own meetup up here. I can tell you, seriously, for me to go downstate, for example, in just gas and time alone, to go to have a steak dinner and utilizing, I'm talking about downstate in Wisconsin, to have a steak dinner at a meetup and then drive back, that's a lot of gas in the tank at $4.49 a gallon. So being frugal is a top priority for me right now. Give me 5 minutes. That's fine, George. Gotta put some clothes on. Yes, you do. To be here on YouTube, you do. I did do a post of myself laying out in the sun with this band around my head, listening to Mitch while I was in the sun. And I wasn't wearing any clothes. There wasn't any straps because, well, there wasn't. And all you saw was here on up. That's it. No one knows what was going on down there. Downstairs, carpet, drapes, carpet. Take your time, George. The things are cheap enough. George is wobbling his bottom, shaping up, ready for joining you, Jerry. Excellent. Take your time, George. Don't break a hip like me. Do not break a hip. Michael saying hello to Wendy. My bottom is no longer wobbly, nor is my man boobs. Fantastic. I can't wait till I'm no longer wobbly, but I'm not running to get any skin nips and tucks. Yeah, I know. It's money. Money makes the world go around. We have 2-minute walk to get to a really good steak restaurant. Fabulous. See, 2 minutes. Excellent. If I want to get to a really good steak restaurant downstate in Wisconsin, on Old World, in the Old World part of Milwaukee, fabulous steaks down there. Fabulous. 2 gas tanks for me. Regarding Vegas, one of the pools at Caesar Palace is a ladies' pool, clothing optional. A man by himself cannot get a room close above it. Ooh, really? Now, I've stayed at Caesar's Palace many times. I did not know. Wendy, the things we learned, Wendy and George, both, I dub you as the encyclopedia, folks, of this channel. We have two. Oh, George is here regarding Vegas. Okay, we got that. We have a 2-minute walk. That was Lainey. And let's get George on the stage. Hi, George. Welcome. Good evening, George.
But here I am, clothes and all. So there we go. So I'm safe. got my check shirt on and my waistcoat. So yeah, and my hat, which I brought back from Wyoming. Cooked meat's rare again. So yeah, I'm ready to go, Jerry. It's lovely to see you. It's always lovely to see you, my old friend, my old classmate from last summer.
Absolutely fabulous to see you. What is the weather right now in the UK? What's the temps?
Not brilliant for May, to be honest with you. We had a heavy rainstorm earlier, and it's quite cool. I don't know the exact temperature. I couldn't really tell you. Probably in the 60s, I'd imagine, in your terms, I would think.
Oh, good. It's 82 when I came in. I asked Alexa what the temperature was.
Yeah, we can get into the 70s sometimes in May, but it's, I say probably low 60s, I think, from what I could tell earlier. But I was outside in this today, and it wasn't too cold, so it was okay.
And how's the sun conditions?
When the sun comes out, it's really quite warm in May, but it's a question of the sun coming out because we get a lot of cloud here in the UK, especially in the west of the country, because we are near the Atlantic, so we get the westerlies they come in from, and they bring clouds in with them as well. The weather's fairly complicated. When we're governed from the east, then we get the hot dry weather. When we're governed from the west, we tend to get the Atlantic cloud coming in, but then if the jet stream pushes the cloud north, that's when we get the weather from the south, and that's when it gets really, really hot in the summer, up to 94 degrees sometimes it can be. So it's very hot in the summer.
Oh my. Now we have the Farmer's Almanac to be able to predict the weather. What is the UK edition of the Farmer's Almanac?
Well, we have the Met Office here in the UK. They're the ones who try to predict the weather. Is the Farmer's Almanac, is that a book, or is it on television?
No, it's a book. It's usually a paperback publication, and it's a prediction of the weather to come for the United States.
Okay, no, we don't really have that. There probably is a copy of something out there, but I don't. I follow the meteorological office and also the BBC. They do this ridiculous 10-day forecast, and it's totally meaningless. They are quite good up to 48 hours in advance, but beyond 48 hours, it's just a waste of time looking at it, because all they're doing is they're making a guess based on previous years. But people still look at it and they say, oh yeah, well in a week's time it's going to be this, but it can change very rapidly.
True. Same with our Alexa here. When I, just for kicks and giggles, will ask her for a 7-day forecast, it's very vague as well.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've got out of the habit of looking at the 10-day forecast now. So if I've got an event coming up in 10 days time, I'm looking and it just changes. So I can think, yeah, it's going to be really good. But then by the time we get to within 2 days of it, it's predicting rain. So yeah, there's no point in looking at the 10-day forecast.
Right now, I had the car washed yesterday because it was in for service, and it's all green from the pollen blowing off of the trees.
Yeah, we're in pollen season now. The horse chestnut trees, they're in full bloom. They're always very pretty. I often measure months by what I know I'm going to see in the month. For example, in January, I know I'm going to see snowdrops, the white flowers. In February, I know I'm going to see crocuses, the beautiful little purple and yellow flowers. In March, I know it's daffodil month. April is bluebell month. Then in May, it is both lilac and the horse chestnuts. Then in June, I know I'm going to see the elderflowers. In July, I know I'm going to see the buddleia. August, I call it the month of the golden month, because that's when all of the farmers' crops are ready for harvesting, and they take on that golden color. September is the month of the blackberry for me. October is the month of the fungus, the mushroom. November is the fall, and that is the month of the trees, the colourful trees. And then December, I call it the month of the evergreen, because that is the month of the holly and the Christmas tree and that sort of thing. So that is how I measure my months, by what I know I'm going to see during those months. So that's it's just a different way of looking at the year.
Now, Wendy addressed the Farmer's Almanac is more about major weather patterns, wet seasons versus droughts, etc.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I like, what did she like? Crocuses. Me too. I'm a bulb girl. I love any flower that's a bulb.
Yeah, the early part of the year here is, I think I said snowdrops are a bulb, crocuses are a bulb, daffodils are a bulb. Not sure about bluebells, but definitely tulips, which come in April. They are also a bulb as well. So yeah, we have a lot of the bulb flowers here. They're all very pretty, and they smell lovely.
Of course, Lainey chimes in saying every day of the year you see a beautiful Lainey flower. Of course,
that's not true. That's just not true, because I had 4 days in Wyoming last year and I didn't see a beautiful Lainey flower for those 4 days. But it's true. But it's true for most of the year. Absolutely.
I'll tell you, the tulip is my favorite flower, nevertheless, very expensive. I would rather get tulips as opposed to roses, but the price of tulips are way up there.
Yeah, there's a song, isn't there? When it's spring again, they'll bring again tulips from Amsterdam. Do you know that song, Joe?
I do not. No, is it a show song?
Yeah, I believe it is. I'm not sure which song which show it came from, but it sounds like it should be a musical. Try looking up sometime. So try looking up the song "Tulips from Amsterdam." It's quite a famous song.
Okay, I will check that out. I will. Crocuses are beautiful. Yes, they are. I love the bulb. The lilac bushes we used to have at our old house, they just get overgrown, incredibly overgrown, that if you don't take care to trim them off, they could just take on your entire yard. It could be huge.
Yeah, it's the same with the buddleia tree as well. The buddleia and the lilac are very similar. The buddleia, they're not considered to be a nice plant over here, but they get everywhere. And they produce this wonderful mauve purple flower in July, and the butterflies, I love them. We had a couple in my home, and we used to call them the butterfly tree, because that's where you used to go and be able to see the butterflies. So yeah, they serve a purpose, but they also get into the wall, and they damage the root system, damages the wall, so they are considered a pest over here.
Exactly. Kelly is here too, and Lizzie popped on and says, "Hello, if you know, you know." Welcome, Kelly. Look at Kelly outside.
Yes, it is beautiful, and it's not storming like it was this morning.
Yeah, Kelly's in Missouri, the Missouri Carnival. So hello, Missouri.
It is pretty nice today.
Yeah, I was just talking to Springfield earlier on, actually, Kelly. So there we go. And you know who lives in Springfield?
Juliet.
Absolutely, yes. My other classmate, my other BFF from that course. It was great.
Yep, I live 3 hours to the north or northeast of Springfield.
Yeah. Here's Lainey.
I covered all the weather. So we have summer with Jerry, spring with George, bedtime. Summer.
Yeah.
And Kelly's outside.
Yeah. So I'm bedtime.
It is gorgeous today.
Kelly is out on the veranda. Have you got a barbecue going there, Kelly?
No, I'm just sitting out here relaxing. I saw Jerry live, and she shared her live stream. And while I'm waiting for the dehydrator to go off for my next video so I can finish it up, I'm like, I'm going to come out here and join y'all, but I'm going to do it outside.
Yeah, wow.
Well done. I don't blame you.
Yeah, Lainey and I were actually talking about this. We haven't actually had a single barbecue yet this year, which is unusual, because usually you get some good weather in April, but we haven't had a chance to get the barbecue out at all this year. So
no, I'm halfway through staining the table, painting it, because I started it, the outside table, and then it's done nothing but rain since, so I haven't managed to finish it.
No, we were rushing like crazy to get the patio and the courtyard sorted out because Juliet and Doug were due here in June. But of course, as we know, they can't come now because of the family health. But we've so everything's slowed down a bit now. We're not quite so desperate, but we will be having the barbecue out fairly shortly.
Excellent. Kelly, why the fencing, or shall we say netting, behind you? Do you
That is my deck rails. I'm on my deck outside.
You're going to drop.
Yeah,
And the reason why I haven't took them down, those are actually hog panels, like cattle panels. The reason I hadn't took those panels down, we had, as my daughter's dog, I had when he come outside, I had that to keep him from going out. So I haven't took it down yet. I'm eventually going to. I'm like, I'll leave it up. It kind of gives it character.
yeah.
Did you just mention a dog?
Sorry.
A puppy?
Sorry. Speak up, everybody.
I got a message off the son yesterday, and he said, because it's my birthday next week, and he said, what would you like, or would you like a surprise? So I said, oh, surprise me. And he said, oh, he's got a cockapoo that's rather large and rather lively. And he said, oh, good, you can have a cockapoo for your birthday. So I think he's going to dump his dog on me.
Just for a visit though, or would it be
Oh, I
permanent?
hope not. No, he won't give me him. He won't give me him. He was joking. But I would love her. Actually, her name's Daisy, and she's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
I've seen Kelly's dog on film before.
Yeah, that's my daughter's dog, but he loves on me. He acts when it's time to eat. When you're eating, he acts like, that CSA commercials. He acts all, poor me. You ain't getting none of my meat.
I don't know who that sounds like. I really don't.
Well, we went and bought £200 worth of meat. In fact, more than 200 English pounds worth of meat today.
Yeah.
We're talking about $280 or thereabouts, but it's filled the freezers up.
Yeah, they're full to the brim.
There was a good story behind this because Lainey told me to order from Ashley, our butcher, 2 whole pork bellies. So I ordered it, and he said, "Well, that's £12 of meat, George." I said, "That's what it says, Ashley. She wants 2 whole pork bellies." Okay, you can have them then. Lainey, do you want to take over the story?
What I actually meant was, don't slice them up. I want them as a whole piece rather than being sliced. He ordered 2 whole pork bellies, so we now have £12.
Yeah, £12 of pork belly.
Pork belly.
So to put it in perspective, Lainey managed to cut that down into 7 servings. She was looking for 2 servings of what is now 7. So that
pretty good call of pork belly. But good job, we like pork belly.
Luckily, on December the 8th, I'll always remember that. December the 7th, because it was the day before I picked Kilts up from Heathrow. Amy showed us how to make pork bites. I mean, Lainey can do it anyway, but Amy put the idea of pork bites in my head, certainly. And we've been eating the pork bites on a regular basis ever since, and they are fantastic. And talking of animals, here we have Angus.
Yes.
Ah, my baby.
I have a tail.
Not so much a baby. He's a great big lump. He's getting quite old now. He's slowing down a bit. He'll be 15 in September, but he's hanging on in there as he can, as best he can.
Hello.
He mistimes his jumps nowadays because he remembers how he used to be able to jump when he was a younger cat, and nowadays he misses sometimes.
Yeah,
which
he
is
flats against the freezer and things.
I'll tell you, I would love to have a cat. We're German Shepherd people. Of course, you knew that.
Yeah.
However, I think when I retire, I want to get one because I'm enjoying seeing all of your cats on the lives. I enjoy them.
Do you know what? This one, Angus, who we got here, our daughter had a Malamute, which is the main pool husky dog, yeah?
Yes.
And Angus and him got on so well. It was unbelievable. They absolutely adored each other.
And that's what they say.
Yeah.
They say if they're brought up together, like German Shepherd with the cat, we had the cat first, then we had the German Shepherd. So the cat actually thought that the German Shepherd was one of its kids, and it would lick the German Shepherd and clean its eyes and clean its fur. It was unusual, but loving.
Yeah, Angus wasn't brought up with him because Chloe's married with her own house. They weren't actually brought up together, but they just, when she could just bring him in, and they just got on so well from the word go. It was brilliant. Whereas our other cat ran up the net curtains and ripped them on the way down, where he was so frightened of this dog. But Angus and Zeke, his name was, they just, oh, it was brilliant. They had a lovely, lovely relationship. Really
And the
good.
Malamute is a good breed, I believe. But what breed is your dog, Kelly? Is it a golden lab? A lab?
No, he is actually part beagle and part blue healer.
wow.
Mm.
He's got the color, the beagle colors, but then he's got the head of the blue healer, and mostly looks like a blue healer except for the color. So I call him a goofy hound dog.
I used to be a kennel man to a pack of hunting beagles, so I know the beagles very well.
Hang on. Oh,
Gary is here, no slow. Hi, Gary.
Amy's saying hello to Angus.
Yeah, sorry, I need to clear up with Gary. When I said £200 of meat, I meant 200 English pounds in money. It wasn't 200 pounds in weight.
No,
So that needs to be
I
cleared
don't
up.
have that much freezer. Look, did you notice this? Every time I come on with him, he plays with his wedding ring. He's petrified.
It's my worry bead. When I had long hair, I used to twiddle my hair. Now I twiddle my wedding ring.
He's like, oh, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna say?
Kelly looks like Tom Cruise down there now with his glasses on.
Yeah, they're my subscription glasses, and these are those transitions. Well, I'll never buy another pair of them. I'll just get clip-ons, but they're like a little too dark because these gets darker, and I'm like, if I have them off and I'm facing the house and the siding is gray with white shutters, it's kind of blinding me. So I have to put them back on. But then I'm looking, and it's like I have to kind of look because it's like it's a little too dark.
I wear transitions and I love them. But England's is very different to where you live. I must admit. But yeah, I wear transitions and I love them. Absolutely love them.
I can't read the screen when I'm out suntanning. Well, I can adjust it, but then I lose my battery power on the cell phone by adjusting the screen to be able to read. So I just thought, I don't need it. Gary's out sunbathing. Gary, are you clothing optional sunbathing?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody. We promise.
I think Gary's beard acts as clothing, doesn't it? So he's got no problems there. Am I right in thinking that Gary's one of the two great beards that we have in the community? I think I am.
Yes. Yes, him and Dustin. Hop on, Gary. If you want to hop right on, please go right ahead.
Oh, Tom Cruise was mentioned. An interesting fact that Lainey pointed out to me the other day, or yesterday, and that's it is the 40th anniversary of Top Gun this year. Believe it or not, 40 years since the original Top Gun, and yet Tom Cruise is still looking.
Yeah, but I was only 2 when that came out.
I can't believe 40. And I guess he's still doing his own stunts.
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah. Where's Gary then?
Yeah,
Gary's
Gary.
coming on.
No, Jerry invited him on.
Come on,
I invited him.
Yeah.
I use sunscreen, aka cigar smoke. Gary is.
Anyway, Jerry, you look glowing. Absolutely glowing.
Well, that's because I came in from the sun.
Yeah, you just
Do I look red? Do I look red to you?
No, you look
No,
glowing. You look really lovely.
Olive would be a good description, I think. Jerry.
It doesn't take me long to get some color because carnivore.
George is like that. I don't. I still burn. But
My!
George just goes to really tanned and a really nice colour.
Yeah, Christy was talking about this earlier, and she was saying that she has stopped burning now, and she believes it's long enough since she last ate seed oils that the body is gradually clearing out the bad effects of seed oils. So when you first go carnivore, you probably still will continue to burn, but when you actually let the body clear out the seed oils, and it takes a long time with seed oils, then you've got half a chance of not burning anymore. I think I think that she was very sensible when she said that.
Now, I don't know if it's a case of the seed oils myself, but that gurgling sensation, for lack of a better word, phlegm that you get in the back of your throat, that's no longer for me.
Yeah. I've heard that one before as well, Jerry, from various people.
Anyway, I'm going to go back out and look after my pussy cats. I will see you all very soon.
Goodbye. Hugs and kisses. Thank you for popping on, love.
Yeah.
It's
Lainey,
always
Lainey, right. Lainey is back. She's gone from being a cancer victim to being a cancer victor, as I've heard said. The only problem is I don't recognise her. She's a totally different person. I don't recognise her physically or even this new smiley lady anymore. It's I've got this new bride, and of course, as you all know, she has found herself a new shape of a new husband as well. So, and also, of course, my mental health has changed as well. My disposition towards the world. I'm a lot more loving, a lot more, got much more of a sense of humour. I don't look ahead and think of the doom and what can go wrong. I live for the day, and I'm just grateful for being here. Really, so it's it's nice. Seriously, I mean, we got married 22 years ago. Those two people are gone. They are no more, and we're having to learn how to be married again. It's like being newlywed. It's great. We're going out walking together tomorrow. It's we took a friend from the KMT. Here's a story for you, Jerry. The KMT is basically American based. Well, back along, a lady reached out to me from the KMC. Turns out she lives a mile and a half from us. And she's by herself. Her mum died fairly recently, so we took her out for a good day out today. It's we're just so active now compared to what we were. It's Carnival was amazing,
Right, absolutely. Wendy was saying that Jonathan's talk is very lively right now. They're doing it very sciencey. Of course, Jonathan's very sciencey, the muscle guy that he is, and Danivore as well. Very sciencey. And look who just popped in the house here. It's Gare Bear. Hey, welcome, Spanky. Come on, Gary. There it is.
Oh, that's Gary.
Greetings. Tell us your stories for the day, Gare Bear. I call him Gare Bear. No audio, Gary, and you froze. You're freezing. Everybody say hello to Spanky while we wait for Gary's audio.
Spanky, I think, qualifies as the most active person on Facebook in the world. He's
Hello.
He puts a lot on.
Hello. Hi, Gary. Now we have audio and visual. Go, buddy.
I hate when you kick off StreamYard from YouTube, and then YouTube keeps playing in that app, and then StreamYard comes on, and then I gotta go back to YouTube, pause it because I'm hearing two audio sessions. So that's what that was. And when I switch back, I lose connection or freeze or whatever. But anyways, you invited me on, so here I am. I had to put clothes on, but here I am.
Is it considered not proper for gentlemen to be shirtless on YouTube? I don't know. It would be not proper for me to be shirtless, but
it's not proper yet. Maybe at the end of the summer after I lose some more weight.
Try telling Chafee that.
Ah, that's right. He does appear without his clothes.
It's very rare he appears with his clothes, isn't it, Dr. Chafee? He seems
the girls love him.
If I had muscles like that, I'd show them off.
I think we should have a crowdfunding campaign to try and buy Anthony a shirt because he obviously can't afford one.
Yeah, the girls just love him. He's not my speed, but I'm an old woman, so for somebody his age, of course the girls will be going gaga over him. Dr. Chafee does it shirtless, says Lance. Hi, Lance. Welcome. So does Carter. I just love hearing the birds on lives. I love it. I enjoy the outdoor audio.
Oh, I contacted Larry Allhands, Carnival Soldier, who's left the YouTube community the other day, and told him that I was going to go to Kalamazoo in September. And I'd forgotten he actually lived in Kalamazoo for a while. And he actually sent me some photographs of Lake Michigan and told me to get my butt down there and to go for a swim, because he said it's pure water and it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I don't think I will have the time to do it in Kalamazoo, but that would be one occasion when I would be shirtless down there.
I love Lake Michigan. I miss it. The closest to us right now would be Superior, but that's north of us, 2 hours or so.
All right. So I gotta go. My phone just got the overheating warning.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Because I'm in the sun.
Bye, Gary. Thanks for popping
Oh.
on.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Great to see
See you,
you.
George.
Good to
Cheers,
see
bye.
you.
Kelly.
See ya.
The overheat warning. I get that laying out in the sun, and I have to put the towels over my phone as well. Same thing. Wendy is saying that she went to something once just to see a replica of the TV car Baby from Supernatural. Carnivore Lance is here. How are you, Lance? Carnivore Soldier. How is he doing? Anybody?
I can answer that one because Larry is my friend on Facebook, and we have had a conversation recently. I've been trying to bully him into coming on to Carnival Sunday School to make an appearance. I can tell you that he's doing very nicely, thank you. Judging by his Facebook post, he is in love, and he's switched from being a Jeep rider to being a Porsche rider, and he's got a lovely brand new yellow Porsche. So he hasn't got time for us mere mortals anymore. He's taken off in the world. Porsche and a new girlfriend. Oh, and by the way, he just turned 60 on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. He's a Star Wars baby. So I was able to send him a birthday greeting. So yeah, he's 60 years old and starting a new life just as I am. So yeah, fair play to Larry. But he has agreed in principle to come on to Carnival Sunday School. So we might get one last appearance out of him. But I don't think he's coming back as a Carnival Soldier anytime soon.
Excellent. Mason just mentioned something that I wanted to say to Gary as well. Gary, I can really tell that you have lost weight in pounds and inflammation. Good for you, friend. Very obvious, which is true.
One last thing about Larry, Carnival Soldier. He was my very first friend in the community. I reached out to Larry in August of 2023. So now we're nearly 3 years on, aren't we? Since I first made my first friend in the community. And I've gone from one friend to countless friends now. It's just been an unbelievable journey. In less than 3 years, I've got probably over 200 friends around the world now that would call me friends. So it's just an incredible community that we have.
We really do. Now, I guess love does that to you. If Carnivore Soldier found love, Kelly, it's coming your way, brother. I can feel it. It's coming. Miss Carnivore is coming your way, friend.
Well, right now I can't. I'm hoping maybe someday, but right now I can't. That's
very interesting. Unfortunately, it's the wrong side of the pond. But I have a very good friend over here who's of the female persuasion who is looking for a lion. She's single at the moment, and she said only a carnivore will do. So they're out there. They're out there, Kelly. They are out there.
Okay, so tell me what you guys know about this. You may or may not know. There supposedly is something coming up with a carnivore meat channel, and I mean meat insofar as MEET, not MEAT. What do you know about it?
I've heard about as much as you have, that people have been putting this idea out for a little while now. Did I hear Kerry talking about it the other day? I might be imagining it, but I think I might have heard Kerry mention it. The idea has been out there for a long time. There is a carnivore romance going on as we speak on the other channel, because Jonathan and Joe Archer, they are having a romance, very much so. So that is we keep Lainey and myself keep on joking that we definitely want to be at that wedding. So it's there are carnival romances occurring. There's no question about that.
And Joe, I love her. I just love her bubbly attitude. She
She's
is
fabulous. Absolutely
she's a
fabulous.
joy. Joy.
Yeah, she lives in Nottingham in central England, a very famous old town where Robin Hood came from. He came from Nottingham.
Now, how far is that away from Jonathan? The two of them.
Oh, it's a long way actually. It's inconveniently long because Jonathan lives in the most inaccessible part of England you can possibly get to. It would probably be about a 4-hour drive, maybe even 5-hour drive. It's one of those rare ones where there aren't the road connections aren't very good between Nottingham and where Jonathan lives. It would take me about 3 hours to get to where Joe lives. So yeah, it's. I mean, 3 hours for you guys is nothing, I know, but for us, it's quite a significant journey. It's considered a significant journey.
Of course. George, please, here's a question from Amy. Do you know how Stephanie's doing? Because, of course, Amy and we all are praying for Stephanie.
Yes, I can tell you. Just bear with me a second. I'll see what she. I got when Stephanie sort of went into treatment. She said, "I won't be in contact very much, George, because I need to fight this by myself. I am a loner, and I want to fight this. However, I'll tell you when I last heard from her. There we go, Stephanie Taylor on WhatsApp. I heard from Stephanie on Monday, and she sent me 5 days ago, and she's having a break from her treatment in Turkey. She's in Istanbul for treatment, but she's gone down to the coast. So she's actually having a little mini holiday. She's well enough to have a mini holiday on the coast or down on the beach. And she is looking absolutely stunningly fabulous again after going through a very hard time in the spring. She's out there enjoying herself, looking great, smiling, and has got the confidence to reach back. I don't chase after Stephanie and ask her how she is. I wait for her to come to tell me. As I said, on Monday, she reached out to me and said, "I'm feeling great. I'm really enjoying life again and enjoying the sunshine in Turkey." She should be back in England on June the 20th, we think. And I hope to see her, very much hope to see her again then.
Excellent.
It's really touch and go as to whether I'd ever see Steph again. And it broke my heart to think of that, but she'll be back.
Okay, now here's another question. Oh, I know Kelly just got up for a second, but I'll leave it
I'm
up.
going back in because my glasses are so dark and it's getting a little warm right here. I'm getting a little baked, so I'm going back inside.
Yes, Lainey was just saying that Steph is doing amazing. She looks and feels amazing, which is true. She is one beautiful woman. Now, when you're all situated, Kelly, once you're situated, Amy has a question for you, and I'll read it for you as you're walking. Amy says, "Kelly, are you going to sign up for the carnivore dating app by Michaela Peterson?"
When I can be able to do it in the future. Right now, I cannot do it. I am actually still married, but that is another thing that I don't want to get in depth in because I feel, it's like I feel like I'm married, but we're not married because we're not living together. My wife hasn't been living here for 3 years. Ever since she was diagnosed with cancer, she stayed with her mom and dad. And ever since then, she didn't come home. She don't want to come home. I try to stay in contact with her, but other than that, it's pretty much one of those. It's a tough situation, but I'm just going to finish fulfilling, the marriage duties. She's terminally ill with cancer, and I don't know how much longer, they gave her 3 years, but unfortunately it has been 3 years, but it could be a matter of time. The cancer's all over her body. And I wish things was a lot better, but it's one of those that it is what it is.
Yeah. Kelly,
It's
can I just say how much Lainey and myself empathize with you? Because Lainey was diagnosed with cancer in September 2022. And for all that we are now appear to the world as this perfect couple, it's been a very, very rough ride, and we have come close to breaking point in our marriage on quite a few. I know that lady won't mind me saying this because she likes me to tell the truth about it. She's back now. She's in remission, but there were times when her mental health was so bad that I couldn't deal with it. I really couldn't. But we've come through it. It was very stormy, and as you can see, I've got a new bride now. So
and this has actually been going on before her cancer diagnosis. She always made excuses, wanted to stay. Oh, I'm going to stay here again, and because I think ever since we got married, I don't think she truly liked living here. I think she missed living where she is at because I think they really tight knit, and this is the things that. I say that we go through storms. I think this is a storm that I'm going through, storm of life, and I have to finish fulfilling it. Even though there's days, it's like I tell you, the Lord's like, when is it going to be over? I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready to move on. But with, even if it'd be nice if we could just peacefully go our separate ways, but I cannot do that. I don't want to do that. Unless she decides, okay, let's up and do it, that's fine. But I'm not going to do it because it will look bad for me. Because, you're divorced your wife because she's got cancer. No, it's because other reasons. That just happened.
Kelly, it's really hard. I'm going to butt in there because he's saying me mental health, he had them as well. But besides that, it's really hard. You become different people. I lost myself completely. I was the party girl. I was one at the pub, dancing, singing, messing about, absolutely enjoying life, out with my friends, out with everything. And then cancer changes you so much. It's unbelievable. And it doesn't matter how much you love each other, it still changes you. And
I totally agree 100%. I know part of that is the cancer. The other parts is I know for them, every time they lose a loved one, they get, it's like the umbilical cord got tighter. And I know that the year that we got married, earlier that year, she lost her cousin tragically to a car accident. And it was like all of a sudden, it was kind of totally different. And then I know in 2018, that was also, and there's other factors. Part of it is that I started chewing at that time, and I chewed bad. I chewed almost a can of Copenhagen or Stoker's, that kind of stuff. And it was wrecking my health. That was part of my issues. And I think that's part of my hip. It started deteriorating the hip after I slipped on ice, and then boom, then this all of a sudden, that happened. But I think over time, that's what damaged the hip. But there was other factors. But then before she was diagnosed with cancer, she always made excuses, hey, I'm going to stay in Madison. That was another little town that's just northwest of her. And it was like, there would be times that she didn't come home for weeks on time. And then when she had the opportunity to be a hygienist, the dentist there at the prison in Moberly, Missouri, there was a dentist to pay. I'm like, okay, we didn't have that. But I said, balance your time out. I said, I want you here. I want to spend time on the weekend. You go over there. Didn't happen every time. And there'd be times I wanted to spend time with her. She blew me off. So it's been going on way before that. But then all of a sudden, when my youngest daughter came to live with me, I said, I need you home. I need help, because I'm like, I have a daughter that is here. This is at the time she was in 6th grade. She's going through the puberty. I don't know what to do. My oldest daughter was living with me at the time, and she's already but I need to help. But it wasn't but a week later, she was right back over there again. And then that's when she noticed the spot on her side of her breast. And then all of a sudden they did a biopsy while I was gone, and turned out it was cancer. But even before her, everything has changed, but it happened before that. But I'm whole. I still pray and hope that it still change. That she wants to come home, because I'm willing, even if it's one day, 1 month, one more year. I would love to have that, but
Bless
And
you.
right now, you see the single looking guy here that's married.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. No,
Yeah.
because I was the opposite. I didn't want to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that,
Yeah,
Kelly. It was,
yeah.
that was a brave thing to do. So
Yeah,
we really
huge.
appreciate it.
Absolutely huge. Lots of love. I'm going to come and marry you.
But I say, once I get through this storm of life, it once it's over, I get into a new season. God's got something for me, and after my divorce with my my ex-wife and going through this battle and all that, I'm a little more careful, and now I'm like, I'm looking for someone that's not only on the same page as carnivore, but also the same page as I hold a higher standard. Especially, they got to be a believer. Believe in God. They have to be a believer, and that's the only way it's going to work for me. I'm not going back through that again. I'm not going to make the same mistakes I made, 10 years ago, go through one, broken relationship after another. And I'm like, I did the online dating. I ain't doing it online dating. Now it'd be different. Maybe this Michaela Peterson, the carnivore meetup thing might be a little bit different. But as of right now, I am going to let God, go, because it's like, am I get another chance of a relationship? Absolutely. Is it guaranteed? No, because tomorrow's not promised, and I'm just going to live one day at a time. Because we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I have my issues. I have my sins. I have my faults. Some days I get prideful, some days I don't. That's why I share the gospel. That's why I do what I do. I go to Mexico to build that home, which it's a week away, and and I am so, I'm so excited for this, even though it's like, oh man, I got a week away. I got to get stuff prepared. I got to go get what I need, to prepare food. I need to get the tote out. I need to get my tools gathered. So I have a lot of stuff, this whole week plus. I'm like, I need to mow the yard. I need to clean my bathroom. I need to vacuum this, that. And it's like, and we got storms coming again on Monday. I'm like, great.
The literal storms of life and the physical storms of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking there about carnivore romances, but what the darker side of that is, I've been hearing one or two carnivore divorces now, whereby one spouse has gone carnivore, and the other will not even contemplate it. And I have heard rumors of marriage breakups because of that change of the way of belief in the way, and if one person goes carnivore, then it's very difficult for the other person to understand that. Lainey didn't go carnivore at first. It was only when she discovered that sugar feeds cancer, and then gradually she went more and more keto, and then it was actually our beloved Stephanie who inspired her to go full carnivore. So yeah.
And that goes the same as if you are a Christian as well. If you're not evenly yoked, it can be tough. And then like I've been to church, but I almost fell away, went backwards in about 10 years ago when I came back. But then instead of trying to keep Jesus in that void that you cannot use anything else, and nothing can fill the void except for Jesus. Instead of growing him, I was trying to fill that void. And then it's like, I meet someone, it's wrong. Meet someone, went backwards. Met my wife. Yeah, she went to church, but she believed, but she wasn't a believer. And when I decided in 2019, I'm like, I need to plug my kids back into church. I need to get that. I need to be plugged in. And that's when I started going to the Redeemer Church. And of course, the pastor, if you ever get a chance to watch Redeemer Church Moberly on YouTube, he shares, I mean, it is, basically Bible off that. And you can be heavily convicted. Great church. But just like my pastor says, it's not about, it's great to share the church, but it's about sharing Jesus. And, as I decided to draw closer to God, I feel like that's when we started pulling away. because there'll be times I want to spend time together. I want to spend a date night. And she says, well, they want us to come up here. And it's like, oh, again this weekend, we're going to have a drunken, watch everybody get drunk. That's why I quit drinking. That was the purpose. I watched people just get drunk and I'm like, I'm tired of this. This is not what I want. I don't like this. And that's why I quit drinking in 2022. And there's times that I even, went up there and I'm like, I want to go home. I'm done. I'm not watching this. I went home. And then there's times that I wish I just went home, but I was like, I wanted to protect my wife to keep, make sure she doesn't drink and drive and all that. But it's like, you know what? I should have just went home.
Yeah.
True. George can speak about the alcohol side. George, take it away.
So I went from functioning alcoholic to most of my life to teetotal sober on March the 17th of last year. Overnight, literally overnight. I woke up on a Monday morning, having had a heavy week when I had a week off work, realized I'd wasted it because I couldn't remember it, realized that I'd become quite unpleasant on occasions, fallen over, couldn't remember anything, spent a lot of money. Woke up on Monday, March the 17th, 2025, thought I'm done. Told everybody that I'm done. Nobody believed me because I've been there several times before. I lasted a week or whatever. But here we are on May the, whatever it is, 17th. So, yeah, here we are 14 months on. I haven't touched a drop since. And one of the best decisions I made ever in my life. Alongside Carnival and alongside marrying Lainey. It was a long and rocky road to get there, but I'm free now. I'm alcohol free. It is, and the food is freedom, and no alcohol is freedom as well. It's about freedom, Carnival, and the freedom of your mind as well from the anxiety and the depression. Carnival is freedom, as we know. One of our great friends wrote the Journey of a Carnival Woman, in which she said, "Freedom is here," and freedom is here for me as well.
Sorry about that. Mason's asking, I don't know how to do this on my end. If you can turn your volume down. I don't know what that means.
Is it on my end?
That's what Mason's saying, yes.
Why don't I hit over on the laptop? Because what it is I'm on the phone and the speaker, and so it's probably a little bit louder. Because I remember that, and I flipped over the speaker one time when I was on Mitch's. They said it was a little loud. So I'm gonna hop off here, and then I'll hop right back on with the laptop.
Jerry, you're not going to believe this, but I've just mentioned the Carnival Woman Freedom is here, and Grandma's turned up. So. This is really weird because she and I are connected, because every morning she'll say, "Is George around yet?" And just as I come on, and I say, "I'm here." So yeah, all I had to do is mention the Journey of a Carnival Woman, and here is Grandma. So we are, even though we're across the pond, we have this mental link, this emotional telepathic link between us. So hi, Barb. I called you, and here you are.
Absolutely. Everybody was chiming in with Kelly because, let's be frank, this is new to all of us. Not that we're interviewing Kelly, but I thought Kelly, when I physically met him face to face in person downstate at Carrie's place, I thought this guy is really a good guy, a good Christian man. I got a good vibe from him. But in the same respect, I get the same feeling from you and Lainey, and I've never met you before. There's a comfort that I have with people that I believe are good people, and I believe God sends people to me. I don't believe in white light and dark light, and I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. That's me. I don't believe in any spiritual readings. Sometimes, George, this is really weird. I get these dreams, let's call them, and I don't know if it's of God. So if I get these and they're very strong, I say, God, is this from you? Because I can't discern the good, the dark from the light, and I don't want any spiritual influences. Like if somebody asks me, for example, if somebody would say, "Oh, Jerry, I see this for your future." No, my future's already set by God. I don't need nobody to do a reading for me. I don't want that evil experience, in my opinion. My opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my take on it is this: I've never been a great believer all my life. Never been a churchgoer. Never really dismissed the idea of Christianity or God. But just in recent years, I've just seen too many miracles, too many day-to-day miracles. People think that miracles have to, as you say, you have to come in a white line and the clouds open. They don't. Far from it. The fact that I was dismissed by my doctor with the prescriptions in my hand and told to clear off and go and die quietly, and then that nurse came and saved me.
Yes. Now I know there were
there've been others as well. When my car broke down, so I was late to go and do something out in the countryside, and I was trying to catch up with the people I was supposed to meet, and I found a little old lady up to her waist in mud because she'd fallen into a ditch. So I was able to put her out.
yes,
Had my day gone well, she would probably have died. But because my day went badly, I was put in the right place at the right time. So.
sure.
Yeah, too many miracles, Jerry. Too many miracles.
Let's do a mic check for you, Kelly. Go ahead, brother.
Test, check 1, 2. Is that better?
Fabulous. Excellent. Mason, is that good on your end, kiddo? I know we were all talking, they were chatting, and people care about you, Kelly. So it's not that we weren't prying into your life, but a lot of people don't know what we all go through. And many of us here already have second or some instances, third marriages. So I believe it's very important to be equally yoked in the faith. I know of people that are standard American. Wendy even said it too. Wendy didn't want to go carnivore. She did feral grandma to be supportive. My husband does the standard American diet, but I can't force him. I can force him by feeding him only good eggs and meats and that for breakfast, but I can't hold his hand during the day if he wants to go to Dairy Queen.
I mean, that's the same here. It's like my daughter's not carnivore because some people ask, well, how come, have you, changed your daughter to carnivore? She's 16 years old. My other one's 21. I'm not going to expect them to change. Now, if they were little, different story. I would teach them. But at 16 years old, they're old enough to make their own decision. And, especially 16, sophomore in high school, a lot of peer pressure. And, they'll say, oh, you're carnivore. You can't have candy. You can't have this and stuff because, they were taught different in school versus what we know.
Yep. Amy mentioned that her husband raised their children by himself. He had a daughter himself, just like you. It's hard to talk about your cycle with your dad. It's easier to talk about that with your grandma or your mom. So thank goodness your mom is right next door to Kelly.
Yes. Not only that, she has a basement.
A to the men. Amen. Amy had a question for you, Kelly. She says, will religion matter as long as they believe in Jesus Christ, or does that not matter as long as they are believers? Give us your opinion.
Well, if they're, I know the believe because, it's all, everybody's got their different opinions. And for me, a believer means that they are saved, they are surrendered, they give their life to Jesus versus believe because the devil believes in Jesus as well. So that's my opinion. And that's how, I get through reading the scriptures, because when we read the Bible, it may speak differently to me than it is to you. And that's the way I go by. I feel that, Satan believed in Jesus. So But for me, it's you know, a believer is you're surrendered and saved, and that, you know, no matter what, you're broken, you know, your broken spirit, and you need that savior to live your life. No matter how much imperfect you are, because like for me, just like this, I'm not going to judge others, you know, because I'm like, I can't judge others because I can't see past the log in my eye. So I'm not going to take the speck out of your eye.
Mhm. Right. Now I know the two crazy ketos, they use this term right now, and I think they have a t-shirt, picking pepper out of poop. Like the Bible says, getting that speck out of your eye. I have to take care of the plank that's in my eye first.
I mean, there is difference between judge righteously and judging. And
Right.
like, if I see something out of the ordinary, like, you know, a brother or sister in Christ not doing what they're not supposed to, like, hey, you're married, and why are you with this person, not with your spouse? That's one thing, you know. But other than that, like, if, you know, I have my issues, I have my storms, I have my, you know, my sins and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to judge someone else, you know, preference, because I know we had a certain, I'm not going to get too deep, but we have a certain troll that wanted to, you know, mention about one of our fellow carnivoring people, and it's like, I don't care, you know, that's their preference. I'm not going to judge him. He's a great guy, and that's his
Right.
preference, not mine. He's not pushing his on it. I'm not going to push my preference on. We're here to learn about carnivore. We're here to share our journeys with carnivore. We're not here to share our personal lives, you know, on there. So that's one good thing about, you know, while we have great moderators like George and Juliet and Amy, that, you know, we hit those trolls, get rid of them.
Yeah, I believe there was a man once said that he, without sin, cast the first stone. Believe me, I will not be casting any stones anyway anytime in the near future.
Right.
Nope. If I'm casting a stone, I'm casting a stone to get it out of the driveway or out of the yard, and I'm casting it somewhere out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even those who live the pure life on the outside, you wonder what goes on. You know, everybody. I think it was the man himself said, you know, that even thinking about certain things, it constitutes a sin. So we're all sinners. Every one of us has sin against our name, so none of us can cast that first stone.
Absolutely. Even the sin of one's eyes, the thought. Once you
exactly. He said, did he not say pluck your eye out if it offends you? I think the man said that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's true. That's a true statement. Mason saying amen here. They're talking about having babies, and Lizzie's reveal of her baby is coming. Now, George Laney was talking about your new grandchild that's coming.
Yeah, grandchild number 5. I'm starting to lose count, I must admit. I'm certainly losing track of all the birthdays. I have to leave that to Laney.
Gotcha. Now, Barbara did ask a question, George. I have to scroll up here. Okay, here comes Barbara's question. So, George, what's the biggest next carnivore song? We got that connection.
We certainly have, and I will be going on with Barbara at my usual time tomorrow. And I will be telling the story of the over-ordering of the pork from the butcher. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if a new comedy song was to come out of that. I don't think Barb was here when I was telling that story, so I'll save her in the morning about the half a pig.
I think it should be called George and Grandma and Baby. The dog doesn't agree with their relationship.
Hey,
Yeah,
I do.
I want to address this real quick because Terry Girl brought it up. Kelly didn't really want to share it, so we shouldn't keep talking about it. Just saying. So, I'm sorry if we went there and we did something that
No,
we should.
it's all right. You know, one of these days I was going to share that. I was going to share the journey, but it's like, you know what? People need to know who, you know, they see I'm single, and I'm like, no, I'm not really single. I'm married, but yet I'm just married with a license. That's all. You know, it's illegal, but you know, bond. That's it. You know, the other part of it is just gone. Yeah. And you know, is it something I want to pray about? I hope that things can change. it is, but it's, you know, all hearts has got to be in it. So
Do
Absolutely.
you know what? You encouraged a lot of people, I think, to be honest, because
Yeah.
we all hide everything. Everything's set. You know, a lot of people think we're perfect. We're not in any means. We're not perfect. So everybody goes, "Oh, Lainey and George, a perfect carnival couple." We're not. And you've just encouraged so many people to say, "I've been divorced. I'm on my third marriage. I have problems." You know, it's brilliant, and it's how it should be. Let's open up and be honest.
That's
I mean,
reality.
and that's what the thing about being a Christian is. No matter what church you go to, what denomination, how you believe, a Christian's about how we share the gospel, that we don't deserve to go to heaven. We deserve hell. And the one thing about God showing his love and giving a perfect gift, someone that no sin, to hand over and be slaughtered because he wants to have fellowship with humanity again. That's a great love right there. And like, I'll tell you this, I broke, you know, Jesus said there's 2 commandments, because he, you know, love our God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself, meaning that the 10 commandments that God gave Moses is put together into those two. But I broke those commandments. Every one of those commandments I broke.
Yeah.
Right. I hear you. Absolutely. And I know people have different steps, different stages, different parts, different faiths. I understand. I get it. And I respect everyone for being on this earth, for being human beings.
Yeah. I was brought up a Christian. And then my mum died when I was quite young. So I went to church straight from the hospital where she died at. I then lost my dad. And I went to church straight away after leaving the hospital. Then my first husband was killed, and I walked in that church, and excuse the language, but I was like, what the fuck? How can you do this? And I sort of lost it then, absolutely lost it. But the children, because I had 2 children, which is obviously George's stepchildren now, Chloe and Max. But Chloe turned to God drastically at that time. Absolutely drastically. I had to take her every Sunday to church. She joined all these different communities. She sang about how wonderful God was, and I found that really difficult at that point because I lost faith in everything. But it saved her, and that's all that mattered to me. Was the children. Was as long as it saved her, that's all that mattered, and it did. So.
Mm-hmm. I think there is something about, though, being equally yoked. I work with men myself. I go to work without makeup. I do curl my hair because, well, look at me today. If you know, you know.
I love it. I love it.
But I don't look for a mate. Do I come home and sometimes Jack leaves the sink full of dishes, knowing full well the dishwasher's right there, this close from the sink? Yes. But I am committed by that paper, by what's in my heart, by what God gave me. And I was put on this earth for him as well. So sometimes you go through peaks and valleys, uphills, or speed bumps, as Jack calls it, in one's marriage. I love to hate you today, but I love you and I'll love you tomorrow. Could you please put the dishes in the dishwasher?
Absolutely. That's not just me.
Here's another Kelly girl. This is Kelli, Horizon Crochet. Welcome. And I'm sorry if I haven't been keeping up with the chat. I have a couple of questions here for people too that have been asking. So I'm going to try to catch up real quick. And I'm glad everybody's chitting and chatting, even in the chat. I appreciate you all. And Barbara is here too. So hello, Barbara. We said hello, Barbara, earlier. Now, Amy.
I have to say that Barbara wrote a song called My Invisible Friend. And when Chloe and Max's dad died, she had an invisible friend called Jamie. And we had to set the table. We had to tuck, it was a girl, funny enough. We had to tuck him into bed. no, her, sorry, it was a her, had to tuck her into bed. She had to have a plate and a knife and a fork. She believed in this invisible friend so much. It was unbelievable. And when she went to, like, got a little bit older, I said to her, right, it's time for Jamie to leave now and move on to another child that needs help, because I think we can do okay now. And she let Jamie go. And that song of Grandma's makes me cry, literally cry, at the memories of Chloe with this invisible friend that she absolutely clung on to with all her heart and truly believed. And she was there. It absolutely there. Tucked into bed, plate, food, water glass, everything. And she let them go on when it was time for them to go on to help another child.
Oh,
I know.
Barbara's songs just resonate. You know, sometimes when Barbara will talk about, I'll just throw out a name, Mary Lou, because we don't have a Mary Lou here. So Barbara will be making a song about Mary Lou, but the lyrics touched my heart and my head about something that happened, and then I'll make a comment on it, but then it will be misconstrued as, no, Jerry, song isn't about you. But to me, it resonated with me.
Yeah.
She's got this way about herself, Barbara. Just does.
Yeah. Barbara makes us all cry.
She surely does.
It really touches the heart. Absolutely. And this one cries all the time.
Oh, I do, yes.
He's like a blubber. Yeah.
That's why we love him.
See you later.
Well, I love Amy made a comment here about the tarot, I think, correct pronunciation, astrology and all that. She believes it's associated with dark forces and a fallen angel. I do have the 8-ball on my channel, but I wonder if it was bad. I think we use that as entertainment for kicks and giggles. Like, we'll make fun and I'll poke at Spanky because I love him as a fellow chatter. You know, I like Spanky. He's a fun guy and I get his innuendo. So we'll chit chat funny stuff. But we use that, like, we'll say, will Spanky get a hole-in-one today? Definitely not. So I don't think that that's the evil thing. What do you guys think about the Magic 8-ball or Ouija boards or tarot cards or tarot cards?
I mean, I don't mess with the Luigi boards. I don't know what the purpose of the Luigi board is. I mean, and the 8-ball thing, it's just for fun,
Right.
Like it it's something really going to, truth. Now it's just for fun. It's different if you idolizes it and you practice it and you believe in it, but if you use it for fun, no big deal. Like I don't do the tarot cards, but like I'll read the astrology stuff and I'll just laugh and say, yeah, whatever, and then move on. But it's just the same thing, just like yoga. They say, oh, you don't want to do yoga if you're a Christian. That's against the deal. That's sin. It's different if you just use it as an exercise. Now, if you practice and worship like the Hindus do with the yoga and you do all that stuff, that's one thing. But if you're just doing it as just an exercise, no big deal.
Right. As training, like I have a Pilates machine. It strengthens me with the bands. That's just my opinion. What are you thinking, George?
Yeah, I basically, when it comes to these sort of things, there's something I don't ever give any thought to, really. There's something I ignore. I wouldn't pay any attention to tarot readings. I'm not very good with technology. I'm aware of 8-ball, but I never use it. I never ask it any questions. Mm-hmm. What was the other one? The Ouija board? Yeah, Sinister. Again, not something like that. It makes a great movie, the start of a movie when, with the teenage Scream movies and that sort of thing. But they're not something I'd ever let into my, they're not something I even think about. Nothing I would believe in and nothing I would let into my life. So no, that's my take on it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Amy asked, does denominations matter to you, Kelly? Like if you were a Catholic, would you marry a Lutheran?
That part does not matter. Denomination doesn't matter. It's just how you believe in it. If for me, it's not perfect. I'm not expecting perfection. If if you are together like evenly yoked, where you're being led by the Lord, or you're doing what you are need to do throughout, go to church together, pray together as a couple, read the Bible together as a couple, make the decisions wisely as a couple through that's what matters. Other than that, a denomination doesn't matter. My church is non-denominational, and even though it has kind of a Southern Baptist background, because the pastor has a Southern Baptist background, but it's non-denominational, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go together with someone that's Baptist or Lutheran or Methodist and stuff. As long as that church, as long as your church is, to me, as long as you're being fed properly in that church, that's what matters. And I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about the spiritual food. As long as your pastor is doing what he needs to do as a leader of the church to his sermons that will feed you, you can take that and take it through the week. That's what matters. Other than that, nothing else to me matters.
Which reminds me, next Sunday is when I used to be Catholic. They call it Pentecost Sunday, when the Holy Spirit came upon the 12 apostles and Jesus to the 12 apostles. I'll be doing a chat next Sunday at 12 noon. And I realize that my competition is Carnivore Sunday School. So people can...
Next Sunday?
Next Sunday, yes, sir.
No, John's away for 2 weeks. There's no Carnival Sunday. Tomorrow will be the last Carnival Sunday School for 2 weeks. So that's it. So there's no clash there.
I'll be doing a round table of sorts for anybody of faith, whether you're Catholic, Lutheran, anybody of faith that wants to just talk about their faith can come here next Sunday, 12 noon Central Standard Time, and then we can talk.
Maybe somewhere. I'll try to remember to tune in. I'll maybe somewhere in Texas at that time, but
that's right.
I'll try to tune in around that time.
That's right. And I see Danivore podcast must be over because Dan had popped on. And I know Dan's also a believer as well. So people are saying hello to Dan. And Terry's baby, she was saying, is going to be right here. 45 years old tomorrow. Tomorrow is her baby's 4. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? I don't see the number. I don't see that I look 65. I don't feel 65. But when I see Terry, I don't see her as having a 45-year-old child. I don't see it. We don't look like our number. We don't act like our number. And Spanky left us too. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye to Spanky. I really want to see the Jonathan Danivore podcast. I know it's very sciencey because Jonathan is a sciencey type of guy. And we were more chitty chatty on this during this hour, this live.
Yeah, to pick up on what you were saying about the age, Jerry. I mean, I'm in my 60s. You're in your 60s. Barb's in the 60s. Terry's in the 60s. We're all the 60-year-old teenagers, aren't we? Really, because we've all got that silly sense of humor. And we're all feeling we're not feeling our age. It's like a second teenage for me, literally in terms of physique, because my physique is now back to my 18-year-old physique, which I haven't seen since the age of 18. Even when I was a super fit soldier in the army, I could never get down. I was nowhere near to the physique of my 18-year-old self. But I'm back to it now. I'm back to my 18-year-old physique and my 18-year-old sense of humor. Just one or two things that are a bit different from being 18. I'll spare you some of them, but I have a hernia and my knees are a bit. I haven't got the flexibility I had when I was an 18-year-old. But apart from that, and of course the hair as well. The hair is somewhat
except for this hip, with the hip causing a discrepancy and where I have to have a lift, and it's not 100% perfect. I feel better than I did 30 years ago because 30 years ago I was 18 years old. I'll be 48 in July,
And
yeah,
30
youngster.
years ago, I will graduate out of high school, and I feel better at 48 than I did at 18.
Yeah. Well, I feel as good at 60 as I did at 18, to be honest with you, Kelly. So yeah, certainly a
And
lot
once
more
I get
positive.
this hip, once I get this hip replaced, I get because I'm looking forward to see how carnivore, how I'll heal and recover on carnivore. I'm so excited. I don't, I know I don't want to go through it, but once I get through it and I get this healing, I'm looking forward to see how carnivore will heal when I'm, heal. And I'm like, look out, once I'm healed, I'll be go, go, go.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Same thing. I am 1 year and what day is his 16th? 1 year and 16 days post-op. I don't feel 100%, but it's still, in my opinion, it's still new to me. I'm crossing my legs, and they told me I'll never cross my legs again. And I had the hip surgery, Kelly, too, in the front. I didn't have the posterior one in the rear. I think I asked you that before, where they're cutting.
I think they're going to go through the side because when I was on the table, he told me, can you be able, lay on your, well, absolutely. I always lay on my left side. That's how I sleep, is on my left side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too. And today I sleep on my left side. And they said I'll never be able to do that. So Lainey was talking about when she had somebody read her cards and they said she would never be pregnant. She had a baby. See, it's always God's will. Horizon Crochet. Once I called her in a chat. I think I called her Lisa, but that is Kelli, Kelly with an I. So if ever you're on Kelly or Barbara's chat, Kelly with a Y, I'll say Kelly with a Y, Kelly with an I to differentiate the two of you. Everybody's still here. Wendy is saying her first baby is 40. The young one is 37. Amy's saying, I tend to get ostracized in faith-based talks because I'm very strict practicing Catholic. I was too, I know. And other denominations tend to bash and hate. I don't, because my parents set a good foundation for me. I will not bash Catholics. I am non-denominational like Kelly is. And I'm sure, George, you're non-denominational too.
Yeah, I was christened into the Anglican Church. As I said, I've never really been a churchgoer all my life. I've never been a man of faith. We are a very secular nation here in the UK. There are many people who have lost the connection with God completely, and they kind of run you down. They think you're a bit mad if you believe in God, believe it or not, which is crazy. But yeah, just one comment. I mean, anybody from any denomination who hates another person because of their denomination and bashes them, that's not Christianity. Because Jesus taught us to love everybody, especially, we always turn the other cheek. So anybody who professes to be a Christian and hates somebody else based on another human being, based on their religion or denomination, can't be a Christian by definition. You can't be a Christian because our instruction is to love others. Look at the Good Samaritan. He was not of the faith, but he was the one who went to the rescue. So yeah, anybody who claims to be a Christian and hates another human being based on their denomination, I'm sorry, you're not a Christian. End of story.
True. My first marriage, he was an alcoholic too. And despite the fact that I went to church every day, mass every day, from a little bunchkin to an adult grown woman, I still said, God, why? I'm praying, I'm going every day. And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it until a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, Jack and I were going into the Mayo Clinic. We were pulling into the parking structure, and I got a telephone call from a Milwaukee police detective asking about my ex-husband. When was the last time I saw him? As though maybe I could be a suspect in his death. Something had happened where they told me that he had died. And the only thing I thought of was, I bet you it was because of drinking or something. But of course, they can't tell you at the time. And I thought, why is this police officer calling me, and I live, 350 miles away from Milwaukee. And then all the emotions flooded back and everything while I was sitting next to my now husband about something that I was praying to God. God, help me with this marriage. And God had to show me the way. I didn't divorce him because, well, you're an alcoholic and I'm no longer. And I agree with what Amy said, that none of us really come on here to air our dirty laundry. And I really don't. But sometimes, boy, it gets frustrating when they can't find that dishwasher or whatever, the laundry basket, whatever the case may be. But we're just human. We're all just human. And these talks are good for us to communicate, air our feelings out. Maybe if we're having a bad day, the dog ate my brand new shoes. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go and buy another pair of shoes. But I don't hate a denomination. I just don't. I can't do that because they're a different. No. Love everyone.
I don't understand.
Go on, Kelly. Sorry.
Yeah, the thing is I don't, I don't understand some of the other denominations. Even with, you have the Methodist denomination, the Nazarene denomination, Baptist, they all have in Catholic, they have a set of rules, and, they go by. But to me, it's like, I'm not going to hate, even though I went to a Catholic church service, never understood it. I'm not going back. I'm not going to say, well, I hate Catholics. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to love my brothers and sisters, no matter what. It's just, I couldn't get the reason I don't go to a Catholic church because I didn't understand how they preach it. And I couldn't be able to understand how they do things. So I don't go. But, just because someone, oh, I hate Catholic. No, that's wrong. You don't do that. I mean, it's a little bit different. Just like Luther, they preach a little bit different, or they go by a little bit different than a non-denominational. Same thing as a Baptist, same thing as Nazarene. They all each have their little differences. What really matters is if you go there and you see the message doesn't relate biblically to the Bible, and it is, catering to, the person or yourself, that's when you run. And especially here in the United States, and it's all over the world, but basically Africa and United States is bad. We have what they call the apostolic, or the new NAR, new apostolic movement, which is you see a lot of false gospels, and that is where you want to run.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, you mentioned the Church of the Nazarene there, Kelly. Can I've got a story to tell, because this shows that God has a sense of humor. I was in Wyoming last year, and the chosen church of my host family was the Church of the Nazarene in Jasper, Wyoming. So I joined them for the Sunday service, and there was a guest preacher that day, all the way from Kenya, Dr. Musa. And before the service, he came in and he said, "Hello, I'm Dr. Musa from Kenya," and he thought I was local. So I said, "I'm sorry, Dr. Musa, but I'm a visitor here myself. I've come all the way from the UK." He said, "Oh, the UK." He said, "I know that very well." He said, "Tell me, do you know a town called Weston-super-Mare?" I said, "Dr. Musa, that is the next town to me in England." He said, "My son," he said, "I had the ministry in Weston-super-Mare for 5 years." So of course the idea that God has a sense of humor for me is that he sent me halfway around the world, and he sent Dr. Musa halfway around the world to meet in a foreign land, when he could have actually had us meet on the street here in the UK. If that's not a sense of humor, I've never seen one. So thank you, Lord. Dr. Musa was a fabulous preacher, a new friend in my life, obviously. And I've got some great friends in Wyoming now as well from the Nazarene denomination. But what a strange story, that we could have met any time in the street here, but we both got sent halfway around the world to meet each other. Great story.
Yeah, I was trying to go through the chat. Yes, George, I love that story. Every time you tell it, I love it like the first time you tell it. It's good.
I didn't realize I told it that many times, but
No, I enjoy it every time.
yeah. And I on that day, that same day, actually, I got my copy of the Cowboy Way, the New Testament, written for cowboys. Because obviously it's cowboy country up in Wyoming. So yeah,
I know.
this
I
is,
saw that.
I keep this in the top of my desk for quick reference, biblical references.
Is that a publication that can be purchased, George? Is it on Amazon?
It will probably have an ISBN number. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that one, Jerry. I've got you on every means of communication that we have.
Absolutely. And you have my phone number, which is
I've got your phone number. By the way, pick up your WhatsApps occasionally.
Oh, thank you very much. If you're, I'll tell you.
Yes, it does have an ISBN number. It does have an ISBN number, which means it should be available. So and it has a price on it, US dollars $6.99. So yeah, it's available on the market, I'd imagine.
Excellent. Yeah, George, thank you so much for reminding me about the WhatsApps. I don't do the Kilts group. I realize I don't.
No, but I mean your personal WhatsApps. I sent you a couple of things on WhatsApp. I don't think you ever picked them up. Can't remember what I sent you now, but yeah, but
now I'm embarrassed
every now and again.
I'm as red as Kelly's shirt right now. I know the dog, Ladybug, that's her name. She came down for a treat. She knows how to twist me around the pinky. Yeah. That girl, that dog. Now, Mason asked a question earlier. I'm going to go back up to the question and get it on the screen, asking about inflammation. Here she goes. For us, Kelly and George, and Lainey, of course, what carnivore foods still give inflammation to you? There's Kelly's dog. Still give inflammation to you. And thanks. And I know Lainey had chimed in her answer about inflammation. So go ahead, George. What's your inflammation?
Yeah, eggs as well for me. I was eating them on a regular basis, fried in beef tallow on top of a steak. I was itching quite badly at night, torso itching, and I couldn't work out what it was. Then I heard Lee Copus talking about eggs in our ancestral eating. We wouldn't have had that many because they would have been seasonal, and they necessarily contain so few. So I thought he could have a point there, and I did hear other stories of histamine reaction to egg whites. So I cut the eggs out, the itching went away. So yeah, no more eggs for me. Eggs are now off the menu for me as well.
Kelly, what's yours?
I really haven't experienced that yet because I eat a variety. I don't eat a lot of eggs a lot. I may eat, like yesterday I went to Natural Grocers and they had the 6 boiled eggs in their little packet. I bought those. And so, I really haven't really experienced anything with any inflammation, from carnivore foods. And I eat a variety. I eat chicken. I eat some fish. I eat pork. I eat beef. Now, when it comes to beef, I do the best with beef than I do with if I eat the other stuff. But other than that, I haven't really experienced, that. What I did have experience with every now and then, and I have to cut it out, depends on the seasoning or spices or like a sauce. I'll get every now and then. I'll get these, and I used to get them all the time. Is this rash that starts out looks like a red ring with a dry spot in the middle, and I get one, and now they're far few between. But I noticed that I got one on my back, and it's like, how did I get that? But it's about to go away. It heals quickly, but I haven't experienced that yet. Yeah. But once I get through this hip and recovering and I can get that finished, because I feel that my body, when your body is not aligned properly, you tend to be, you're tweaked. So everything gets stiff. Like I worked my butt off like the last week. Yeah. I get home. I was pretty stiff because, I'm out of my, I'm not perfectly lying because I got this discrepancy, but it don't take but a few hours, like the stiffness goes away. So Like there's no inflammation. It's not like it was pre-carnivore where I had to take ibuprofen, that it was stiff, it was sore. I can feel the pain. It's just stiff.
Yeah. I do have one other story which is worth telling as well. Back before, as I think most of you know, I eat mostly raw steak when I eat steak. I eat it raw. I decided to experiment with some raw liver back before Christmas. So I sat down and ate it. I wasn't too sure about it. I didn't really enjoy it like I did a steak. And sure enough, for the following 6 days, I had an inflamed colon. I had the diarrhea. And my hernia, where this colon sticks out, was very inflamed as well. That was obviously the result of the inflammation of the colon. I spoke to Dr. Nelson about it, and he said, well, how much did you eat? I said, well, a packet, maybe 8 ounces. He said, George, did you consider maybe starting on 1 ounce first to change your microbiome? And I said, well, no, Dr. Nelson, because a packet was a packet, so I ate the packet. He said, George, if I try it again in the future, I suggest you try 1 ounce first and just gradually build up the change. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that, Dr. Nelson. Thank you very much. But I haven't tried.
You're talking about the raw liver. It reminds me of Dukes of Hazzard. Boss Hogg, his favorite meal was black coffee and raw liver.
Oh, there we go. Well, actually, yeah. Come and think of it, I would have been drinking black coffee and eating raw liver. I didn't realize I had something in common with Boss Hogg. And what a great program that was, a Dukes of Hazzard. I think all of us of a certain age, all of us who are young men there, will always remember Daisy Duke and her denim shorts. I think that's a given. Spanky's not here anymore because otherwise he'd be straight on the chat about Daisy Duke and her denim shorts. I can assure you.
I wonder, who was that actress? What was her name? I wonder what she looks like these days. Do you remember? Does anybody know?
Catherine Bach.
That's it, Catherine Bach. Yes.
She is almost 70 years old.
Wow.
Like Tom Wopak, I think Tom Wopak, Catherine Bach, I think they might be in their 70s now. Because John Snyder was 18, he was under 18 years old when he went to cast. He lied about his age and he went and got it. He went to try out and got the cast of, or he got the role of Bo Duke, and he's in his mid 60s.
Oh my.
Yeah, come to think of it, I was watching it when I was in basic training in boot camp in the army, and I would have been 19 then. I'm 60 now. So Daisy would have been older than me, so it makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Where have those years gone? Where did those years go?
Yes. Now, George, do you and Lainey consume egg yolks only and throw away the whites?
No. I've been tempted to try that, but A, it's fiddly, and B, the thought of throwing away food horrifies me. No, I think Lainey might actually. She might have something to say on this, but no, I don't. I just avoid eggs altogether now. It's just easier. I'm a very lazy person, which when it comes to cooking and washing up. So, eating raw steak means I don't have to cook anything. Not eating eggs means I don't have to crack anything open or fiddle with it at all. Yeah, it's I'm
not coming in, but no, I have egg whites for years.
Actually, no, Lainey's just reminded me she hasn't eaten egg whites for years. When we used to have fried eggs, she used to give me her egg whites. So yeah, no, she only eaten yolk for years.
My dog.
Catherine Bach is 72.
Good God.
Wow.
12 years older than me. So she would have been 30 probably or 31 when she was Daisy Duke in that case. Because that was I would have been 18, 19, and I'm 60. So yeah.
Here's a comment from Wendy, the feral grandma. Oh, does anybody else look at the data printed on the end of a carton of retail eggs in the USA? It includes a 3-digit number that corresponds with the day of the year the eggs were collected. Interesting. Do you do that, Kelly? In the US?
I never noticed. I never paid attention. I just go by the date that the expert date that it'd be used by. That's a interesting. I'm gonna have to, next time I get eggs after I get back from this trip, I'll have to give it I have to look.
Right. George, you must get yours only fresh.
Eggs.
Yeah, when you bought them, when you
Yeah,
bought
pretty much so. We switched from what we did, we switched from buying from Aldi, the cheap ones, and then we switched to buying from the farm shops, from the markets, and we were using a lot of duck eggs actually, rather than hens eggs. Although if we couldn't get duck eggs, then we would get hens eggs, but we would be using duck eggs first because they have a smaller white and a much bigger, richer yolk. So yeah, that was we did switch from buying the cheap eggs in supermarkets to buying the good ones.
Amy made a point here that it would be terrible for her. She's experiencing her terrible joint pain and she loves eggs. So if she'd have to eliminate eggs now, she would be able to test that. But I love eggs as well. So I do get this itchy patch behind at the nape of my neck here where the hairline ends a little bit, and it's probably because of eggs, but it's not a bleeding thing and it doesn't itch me. Doesn't cause me pain. Cheese, on the other hand, now that's an inflammation for me. Water weight. I'll put on the water weight easily with cheese.
Yeah, I don't tend to have cheese in the house, but when I'm out at restaurants, if there's, for example, if somebody's having a dessert, I will have the cheese board, and also the sometimes we get. Yeah, when I'm out and about, I'll eat cheese, but we don't tend to have it in the house at all. Although there is a particular cheddar, really strong one, which when I go to visit my butcher, I sometimes do pick up a small piece of that because it's so delicious and I can't resist it. But it's carnivore. It is cheese, it's dairy, so it is acceptable. But I regard that as kind of a carnivore treat, carnivore junk food. But I don't eat a lot of it.
Is Morrison's a grocery store that you and Lainey shop at?
Yeah, Morrison's is literally 2 minutes in that direction, Jerry. Because
so your steak place is
2 minutes. Not. I mean, I'm not talking 2 minutes in the car. I'm talking 2 minutes on foot. So yeah, we know that you take us shopping, and I did ask you once. We compared, didn't we? And our nearest Morrison's, our nearest big place is 2 minutes walk that way. Not 2 minutes driving.
So the steak place you spoke of, or Lainey spoke of, the steak place is 2 minutes one way, and Morrison's is 2 minutes the other way. Fabulous.
Yeah. So Morrison's that way, and the Tudor Hotel, which is where Kilts is staying next month, which is the steak place, is 2 minutes that way. So yeah, so it's great. Yeah, the great thing about the Tudor Hotel is that the family have known me for 56 years. They saw me become very ill, and they've seen the miracle of carnivore, and because I'm virtually extended family there, so they are now absolutely believers in carnivore. They're not in favor of carnivore because they're trying to sell people the full range of their food. However, having said that, whenever I say my usual steak please, Julie or Carla, they say, no size, George. No size, please. What about bacon or eggs? Can we get any bacon or eggs? So they're actually offering carnivore alternatives to sides as well. I hopefully all my carnivore friends who will be staying here next month will be pleasantly surprised by the level of service and understanding that they will receive from this wonderful Greek Cypriot family.
Sure. Have you or Lainey ever tried the oopsie cake made with the egg whites and the dairy that Kelly Hogan started here?
Not me. No, we haven't had it in the house, I don't think. When I was up at the meetup in the BBC meetup in December, there was an oopsie cake going around, and I was offered it, but I turned it down. It just didn't look right somehow. It didn't. It looked too much like the real thing. It was a. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable eating an oopsie cake. No, I'm just giving me a steak.
How about you, Kelly? Did you ever make a oopsie cake?
I've never made an oopsie cake. I never even heard of it until you mentioned about it. I'm like, oopsie cake. I never even tried. I was like, too much for me to make. I'm like, George, I'll just give me a steak. I'll just take a steak. I crave more meat and bait. I crave more meat than I do that I have in the past. Every time to time, I might take some pork rinds with butter. Jeff Geezy, that's on Carnivore Talk, he got, he mentioned they did pork rinds with the butter. So I did that, and I made maybe 3 or 4 pieces, put a little bit of honey. I'm done. I'm good. I'm satisfied. Some people is different. They just smell honey and like can't do it. It'll trigger me. But for me, I can have 3, 4 pieces of it with a little bit of honey, and I'm good to go.
Does anybody else get cravings for salt like I do? Sometimes it's so strong. I have salt in my coffee, like I used to have sugar in my coffee.
Yes, sir. Me too.
I cover my steak in salt then. And
Yeah.
pork rinds as well, salty pork rinds. Sometimes, sometimes I have some pork rinds, not necessarily because I want the pork rinds. I just the salting. I crave the saltiness of them, So yeah, if I'm interested that other people have got the same thing. Never sugar anymore. Don't crave. I'm 4 years in. Those sugar cravings is gone, but salt has become, I can really do with a bit of salt now. So yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Mason, saying, please remember to thumbs up. Thank you very much. I know you were talking about Geezy, and just a friendly reminder, in approximately 17, 18, 19 minutes, Geezy is going to be on with Thomas on Thomas's 3 o'clock Central Standard Time live. What time is it by you right now, George?
Right now, yeah, it's 11 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening. So it's
Gotcha.
because I've got to get up at 5. I get up at 5 o'clock every day now, so I like to be in bed if I possibly can, by 10 p.m. Unfortunately, on Thursday evenings our time, I've got to do my weekly check-in with Kerry on Zoom, because I'm acting on his behalf over here about healing humanity. So I go on at 11 p.m., come off at midnight, go and relax, having, I just need to wind down for half an hour. So I don't get to bed till 12:30, and I've got to be up at 5. So Thursday and the Friday is a 4.5 hour sleep night for me. And that really rips out the, Fridays. I get quite tired on a Friday, as you can probably imagine. So it's, but most of the time I like to be in bed. I actually know it happens on Monday as well, because we've got the KMT Zoom at 10:30 our time.
I usually see you on Barbara's channel when I'm going to bed tonight. Then you're coming on. That's the start of
you can expect. Yeah, I might even be a bit later tomorrow, because I'm expecting a delivery from a friend at about 6:30 tomorrow morning, which is 12:30 Central Time. So yeah, I might even be a bit later, but I maybe sort of more like 1 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. Depends on on what time that delivery arrives. But I will let Barb know in the morning, because obviously as I get up, as Terry knows, because she mentioned about it, I have to strap my I have to have a shower and strap my hernia in. So as I'm doing that, I will let Barb know sort of what time I will be coming on. But A, that I'm there, and B, what time I'm likely to be coming on, because I should get a message from. It's a bit complicated, but I should get a message from this friend when they're leaving the house, so I'll know what time they're arriving here, and then I'll be able to tell Barb what I'll be at the time I'll be arriving there. So it's a bit complicated, but it's international communications are so much easier nowadays, aren't they?
Oh, true. Absolutely. Uncle Charlie's in the house. And every time I see Uncle Charlie, I just think of My Three Sons. Do you remember that show, My Three Sons? Or was that not? It may not have been in England. It was an American show with Fred McMurray.
I remember watching it on MeTV, because we have MeTV free here on our network system. And I remember watching it every morning, every Monday through Friday. I watched it. I remembered it.
And Uncle Charlie, that was on with Fred McMurray. I forgot the actor that played the second Uncle Charlie. I remember him more, but the first Uncle Charlie was on I Love Lucy. He was the name Ethel's husband. That was the first Uncle Charlie on My Three Sons. Little statistic there, a little throwback from the 60s for me. Wow. Uncle Charlie is saying he cut the butter out when he wasn't losing weight. Now that he stopped the butter, the weight is falling off again. Again, like Barbara said, Barbara no longer has the higher fats. She dabbled in it, but she wasn't losing the weight, and now she's losing the weight again. And for me, high fat reigns for me. It works. If I don't have the fat, I will have a tendency to hold on to the weight more. That's me again. Morrison's was a famous buffet restaurant a few decades in the US. What? Is that the same Morrison's, George?
No, Morrison's here was has only recently spread beyond the north of England. It was started by a northern English gentleman, so I wouldn't imagine it'd be the same thing. Interestingly enough, when they spread to the rest of the country, they brought down some northern specialities like black pudding, like liver, like kidney, because they weren't very popular down here. So Morrison's influence was to introduce some of the southern us southern softies, as the northerners call us, to the more basic meats, the cheaper meats. So that was it's interesting.
Wendy is saying that she was recently talking about non-dairy fat options like coconut oil or avocado oil, MCT oil. Those are the only ones that come off the top of my head. What would I be missing? Ghee, that is a dairy. That's could say that is a dairy.
That's clarified butter,
right? Yeah, I don't mind ghee. It doesn't taste buttery, but the butter, the fat solids are removed from it. I remember when I did the Oopsie Cake Challenge and we all made our Oopsie cakes and showed it on the screen. That was a fun little live we did. Prawns or shrimp or crayfish? What are your opinions, gentlemen? What do you prefer? Crawfish.
I never had. Well, I call them crawdads, but I never had that. Prawns is freshwater shrimp. I had them. They're pretty good. And then, but just like that, you have to be careful if they're farm raised, because they maybe feed them with grain foods. But other than that, I like wild caught shrimp.
Yeah, no, pretty much the same, to be honest with you. Any of those three, I'll be very, very happy with any of those three things, to be perfectly honest with you. We have do you call it surf and turf over in the States when you have a steak with a prawns on top? Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, that is Lainey's go-to meal every day now. She has ribeye steak, a ribeye. She's OMAD, has one ribeye every day with a topping of crayfish tail. So it's not a bad lifestyle, really.
Terry is saying, I think on keto and carnivore, your body will let you know if it's thriving better on fat or proteins. It signals you. I agree with you 100% there.
Listen to your body. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I've done the same thing with butter, says Sharon. I cut it way back along with cutting back L-reuteri, and I've lost 7 pounds so far in 2 weeks. Fabulous. See, listening to her body. Lard, tallow, duck fat. Those are other options. Right, Wendy. Absolutely. I love tallow bark. I don't sweeten it either. I'll just take it right from the freezer. It's delicious. I do sometimes grab a ball or two of frozen butter if I had a rough day at work. And it's almost like a sedative for me. I'll take 2 butter balls and I walk into bed and I'm zonked out and sleep perfectly well with the 2 butter balls. Uncle Charlie says, OMAD, 1 pound of Wagyu beef, 6 ounces of bacon, 4 eggs, 4 yolks. I fry them in bacon oil, as the only fat is bacon and eggs. For Uncle Charlie, bacon drippings, that's delicious. Uncle Charlie saying, the last time I had a vegetable was Christmas Eve, fried cauliflower, and I loved it. I've never eaten fried cauliflower. There's cauliflower everything. Remember there was a period that cauliflower was the new rice and the new noodle and the new chocolate mousse. Cauliflower was everything. And now it's cottage cheese. That's the new cauliflower. Back for real this time. Donna is still driving. Hi, Donna. I know the feeling. I have done that myself. Drive lives. I think the community, Terry Girl is saying, is very helpful in letting people know to actually listen to their body rather than feed it continuous crap out of habit. True. That's a true statement. Sharon will eat brown butter bites if she wakes up and she can't fall back to sleep. I agree, Jerry. It's a sedative. It really is. It works. It works. It works. Terry says cauliflower was the new pizza crust. I ate those for a while. They have way too many carbs. Yes. Yes, indeed. Cauliflower is bread crumb and cauliflower in breadcrumb and fried. I don't think I've ever had that ever, though. If I did, it may have been years and years ago when they were trying to get people to eat more vegetables, I think, in the restaurants. When everything came in a basket, now you go to those restaurants and you can just smell the oil in the atmosphere, and it's a total turn off to me.
Oh, you talk about the smell. I know one thing being changing. I never noticed it when I was keto, but I noticed it more now as carnivore. Like I remember filling up. We have what they call MFA oil. It's Missouri Feed Association here in Missouri, but they have an oil division, and they have one of those pay 24-hour. They call it Petro Station, and that's where I go. Well, right when I go home from work, I stop there every other day to top off the cart. There's an American Legion Hall right next to it. And I remember I got out one day and I know they were cooking because I can smell the seed oils just frying. And it was this most awfulest smell that I can ever think of. Before I used to go and like, oh yeah, that smells good. Now it's like, it smells horrible.
It sounds very factory, MFA. It sounds like I shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah, like MDF or something. That's what it sounds like, yeah. Or MSG, monosodium. Yeah, it does have that ring to it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, shoot. MSG used to be a thing in the 60s. All mothers would add it because they did commercials as the Accent was the name of the company, MSG, the name ACCENT, and it would make foods taste better. But now when you go to Chinese restaurants, people that have allergies to them, they say no MSG. Are they really taking it out, though? I don't know. Accent, yes. Yep, I remember that. How to ruin a pizza. Drinking water and putting a pinch of salt on the tongue is the first thing I do when she feels hungry, Terry Girl says. If you're still hungry after that, then you eat. Yeah, cauliflower, just when you cook cauliflower plain itself, not appealing. It's a gaseous smell to me. Same with broccoli. I just can't imagine going back to vegetables and buying them, just have them rot and throwing them out.
I don't think we've seen a vegetable in this house for months now. I can't remember the last time we had a vegetable. I know, Lainey, months, because it's she's did cauliflower cheese, but it's been many, many months since she did cauliflower cheese. So, yeah, we are a vegetable-free, fiber-free household, which is good.
I'm putting down Thomas's live link right here. If after we're done here, you want to go on and click on that, it starts in 36 minutes. Thomas is live, and he's got Geezy on right now. But George, I think Lainey's ready for bed right now.
I'm not sure. It's nearly 8:30 here. Yeah, I miss Geezy because when I was sort of taking a break, a sabbatical, and coming to meet you guys, I used to go on with Bob on the Carnival Talk, but I can't do that now because I've got to go at 5 a.m. in the morning. So I do miss Bob, and I do miss Russ as well on a Tuesday night. I very rarely get a chance to go on with Kelly at 9 o'clock on a Sunday, but yeah, just to let you know, you guys know, I'm still out there. I haven't forgotten you. I still care about you. I just had to be a bit more sleep management than I was when I took that sabbatical back before Christmas. But it was time well spent because I came and made some great friends. So very grateful for that.
I can appreciate that. Now, Russ was on the live this morning with Rick, and that was a rare occursion because Russ never comes on to Rick's live. So it was nice to see him today.
It's very rare you see Russ on any live, actually, apart from Keto Cookout. So it's nice when he does. We had him on Carnival Sunday School. We had some great fun with him.
Oh, really?
Back in September, I think it was. Yeah, I invited him on, and he agreed. I think he regretted it, but there we go. We had some fun. I managed to get him to do the IB low carbon to actually give his performance in the preacher. The Reverend IB low carbon. It was great. He's
Good.
He's a fantastic bloke, is Russell. You know, I love his singing of Amazing Grace. I really do.
Absolutely fabulous. I know Sharon too. She likes arugula, and she ends up, because it gets slimy, you just throw it out. And I know that in today's economy, you can't afford to buy it just to toss stuff. I remember my mother used to buy things, and when it would be in the refrigerator, what she did was she used to bless it. Well, we had holy water in our house, literal holy water from the Catholic Church. And she would bless it and then say a prayer and then throw it in the garbage because you shouldn't be wasting food. But she was a depression person, came up in the depression. Let's see. Lainey's still here. Lainey hasn't gone to bed yet. I can stand small amounts of broccoli if somebody worries. I can't stand cauliflower, says Wendy. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. Now, I looked at myself after coming in from the sun. I thought I was a wee bit red, but if I look red today, then tomorrow I get tan, but I don't feel the burn anymore. Now, once I go in the pool, that's different. In Florida, in the pool, I feel like I burn there in the water. Reflection, maybe.
Now, parts of my body that's not tan, like my legs, lower legs, and my arms, lower arms, they'll get tanned instantly. My face gets tanned instantly, no matter what, because they're usually exposed. But if I, say if my shorts right in the morning and show where it's white, they may get a little red. But before, now if I get red, you can feel a little bit of heat, but it's not like highly inflamed or it's burned. And I can slap it. Before, it's like, you slap my burn, I will kill you. That's the way it used to be. But now I can just slap it and it doesn't hurt. And then the next day it's tan. This goes away.
The miracle of the carnivore diet, for certain. That's funny. Terry's used this expression. I giggle when I see this. They opened her pool today, and she calls her area, her subdivision, if you will, a trailer hood, like neighborhood. That's funny. Terry's a stitch. She's very fun at Grandma's lives. Love doing a live with her. She's a gas. Oh, Lainey's doing yoga next week. I only get one arm in the air, but hopefully it'll be okay. Excellent. When I got on the Pilates machine too, the first time after the hip surgery, it was not easy. No resistance whatsoever for a good 6 weeks, I think, for me. LOL, slap the burn. Terry's funny. Well, does anybody have any final words of wisdom? Kelly, tell us about what you're doing on your channel tomorrow.
Well, I have my next video, which it's probably in about an hour wait. I can finish it up. I'm doing dehydrated bacon, and I'll have that video out next tomorrow around 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And then 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern, I have my live stream. and I'll probably talk a little bit about the trip coming up, and then something that happened in my area that I wanted to have everybody pray thoughts and prayers with the family. It was a tragedy, and didn't even know that it happened down the road from me. And so I'll be sharing a little bit of that, what happened, and where no matter what, we be praying for the family as they grieving at this time.
And what time is that going to take place? You're live. The live.
3 p.m. tomorrow, our time.
Central, 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. And that's 9 o'clock George's time?
That's
Yes.
9 p.m. my time, by which time on a Sunday evening I need to be in bed. So apologies in advance there, Kelly, but I won't be able to make it, I'm afraid.
No, you're fine. You got to do what you got to do to get your rest.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Circadian rhythm is a thing. It really is. My body was exhausted this morning. It took me a minute several hours to wake up. I don't have a problem Monday through Friday getting up 5:30, 6 o'clock ish. Today I slept till nearly 9:30. I needed it.
It's funny for me. It's like, it depends on me. Like last night, I was tired. I was ready to go to bed. I went to bed at 8 o'clock last night. 3 o'clock this morning, my body just woke up, and I'm like, I want to sleep longer. So I'm like, okay, I'll rest a little bit. And finally I fell back to sleep, and finally woke up about 6 o'clock, got up and fixed some coffee and went and sat a little bit and started getting ready for the not live stream, but my videos, getting it finished setting up and that. And other than that, it's did my laundry. And of course I'm going to go to town a little bit later and get some stuff because I need to get some stuff. I'm going to try. I know Jack Links used to make these dehydrated, like steak nuggets. And I'm thinking, you know what? I may try that. I'm going to try a recipe I did with the ground beef, but I'm going to get some top round or some sirloin or maybe some stew meat, try with the stew meat. And I'm going to do some dehydrated stuff that I'm going to take with me. And then I'm going to get, a couple more cans of Spam to take with me. And I'm going to try that Keystone beef because they said it had it at my local Walmart. So I'm going to try it, give it a try, and then start getting stuff ready for the trip. So yeah, I'll be super excited to explain a little bit more. I'm going to share the family who we're building, the location we're building. I was going to show where we're staying and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about it. And then, of course, when I get back, I'll have my next live on the 31st when I get back, and I will have a little video of dedicating the house.
Uh-huh. Okay, George, close us out. Tell us all of your thoughts.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Tomorrow is Sunday. I will be getting up early to go on with Barb in the morning. If anybody else hasn't had enough of me tonight, you can always find me on there. And then tomorrow, Elaine and myself plan to go for a walk in the countryside. We live on a river, which is a tidal river. And so we live near the sea. We are going to go to the mouth of the river estuary, and we're going to walk on the marshland there, which has been designated a countryside park. Not quite a national park, but a place where they have actually created good walking and good viewing of the local wildlife and the water birds as well. So that's what we will be doing tomorrow. The Carnival Sunday School will be happening tomorrow. Coach Lisa Pickart, I believe, is the guest, who is a bit of a superstar in our world.
Oh, yes.
I've been stalking Lisa for months and months, and she's finally succumbed to me. So I shall feel obliged to be on there, as it was me that finally wore her down. So yeah, you can find me there, and I shall be going to bed very shortly after Carnival Sunday School tomorrow night, which will be 7:30 p.m. my time by the time we've wrapped it all up. So yeah, that's my plans for tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on with me. Thank you so much for popping on. I appreciate it. And I appreciate Gary for popping on for a short. Gary, you're looking fabulous. If you're still on, don't know, you look great. And I will be live tomorrow during Sunday school, but I will definitely catch the replay because I love Coach Lisa as well. Love her. And I will be on Barbara's tonight. But next, I included the link for Thomas's live with Jeffrey. He's going to be on.
I'll probably listen to Thomas's on the way to town because I'm going to get a few things, and then I'll listen to Carnivore Sunday School on the way to our next meeting for our mission trip plus our Bible study that we're going to have with it. So I'll listen to that because I met Coach Lisa Pickard at the Montella meetup a year ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Yeah, can I just point out about how much of a global village we are now? Because Coach Lisa lives in Arizona, I live in Somerset in the UK, and it's me that's finally tracked her down by pestering her on the good old messenger service, and she's finally agreed. So we live in a global village now, folks. There is no barrier to communications between any country anymore. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed. There's Gary. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for saying thank you. I appreciate it. And Terry Girl's busy doing chores, but no time to be on the camera. I know you listen. You guys are faithful. So again, thank you, everybody, all the chitters and the chatters for joining, the faithful few that I have. I appreciate you all. See you at Thomas's next. See you at Barbara's later tonight. See you tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm going to go outside, back in the sun again. Hugs and kisses. Best wishes. Toodles.